I'm Phyllis Jackson. Welcome to Stay at Home Connect.
The drug dexamethasone is being hailed as a major breakthrough in the fight against coronavirus. Researchers in the UK held clinical trials involving 2,100 COVID-19 patients. They say the inexpensive, widely used steroid reduced death rates by 1/3 among the most critically ill hospitalized patients on ventilators. Researchers stressed that among COVID-19 patients requiring no respiratory support, dexamethasone provided no benefits. The FDA revokes the emergency use authorization for hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine. The organization says both medications are unlikely to be effective in treating COVID-19 and have led to serious cardiac adverse events and other major side effects. Music Midtown 2020 has been rescheduled due to the coronavirus. The massive music event will be held September 18th and 19th of 2021. Current ticket holders don't need to worry. Organizers say the tickets will be valid for the new dates. Full refunds are available for those who cannot attend.
Before returning to play, kids, coaches, and parents can follow these tips to protect themselves and others from COVID-19.
The CDC issues tips on keeping kids safe while participating in sports. Among the recommendations, bring your own equipment and don't share towels or any items you would use to wipe your face or hands. The City of Atlanta designates this week as Cheek Week to spread the word about the need for Black and African American donors to donate bone marrow. Atlanta City Council member Andre Dickens issues a statement regarding Cheek Week, calling it an SOS to the Black and African American community, as well as all from ethnically diverse backgrounds. It reads in part, "Please step up and help save a life, because we are the cure. We have the power within us to help change one more disparity affecting Black lives, and it starts with a simple cheek swab."
Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
Can one girl in a small town, an architect in a major city, and a suburban high school coach shape the future of the United States? Yes, they can. Because every 10 years, the census gives us that power. You can shape your future by responding to the 2020 census. Where do we need new roads to make our lives easier? Where will new school programs help our children thrive? Where could a new health clinic benefit neighborhoods? The 2020 census will inform these decisions and shape how billions of dollars will be distributed to communities like yours each year. And in 2020, you can respond to the census online, by phone, or by mail. It's easy, safe, and important. Make sure you and everyone you know is counted. Now is the time for you to get involved. Your community needs you. Together, we can educate and excite, inspire, and make sure every voice is heard. Together, we can shape our future.
Everyone, this is Felicia Moore, President of the Atlanta City Council. We are here for our special called council meeting for June 19th, 2020. It is being held remotely as we have done our other meetings. I will start with the call of order. Having called the meeting to order, Mr. Clerk, if you could give us the roll call, please.
President Felicia A. Moore.
Present.
Council members, Post 1 at Large, Michael Julian Bond. Post 2 at Large, Matt Westmoreland. Here. Post 3 at Large, Andre Dickens. Here. Council District 1, Carla Smith.
Here.
Council District 2, Amir R. Faroki. Here. Council District 3, Antonio Brown. Council District 4, Cleta Winslow.
Present.
Council District 5, Natalie Mosby Archibald. Council District 6, Jennifer N. Ives. Council District 7, Charles Shilk. Council District 8, J.P. Matsakite. Here. Council District 9, Dustin Hillis. Here. Council District 10, Andrea L. Boone.
Present.
Council District 11, Marcy Collier Overstreet. Council District 12, Joyce M. Shepherd.
Present.
Quorum present.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Because this meeting is remote, I know you have a disclaimer you usually read for our remote meetings. Could you do that now?
Today's remote meeting is being held in accordance with 50-14-1.
Thank you. So I
Council
understand
President.
that. Hold on one second.
I just say, Council President Moore, this is Councilmember Ide. I missed the clerk calling my name, but I'm here.
All right, thank you. Any other members joined us at the roll call?
Hello, Madam President. Hello.
Yes.
This is Councilmember Bond. I'm present.
Okay, we have Ide and Bond. Any other members joined us at the roll call?
Overstreet.
Ms. Overstreet. Any other members? Mr. Clark?
Due to the actions of what came out of the district attorney's office. The team is out surveying each zone to ensure that we have proper staffing and that the officers and the citizens can remain safe. Those numbers continue to fluctuate as we have people on different staggered shifts to address the number of protests that we've had throughout the city. So to say which particular shift has the largest increase, that number continues to be very fluid. But again, as I stated, we have proper resources in place to ensure that we have no significant delays in response. I've checked with our 911 operator to see exactly where we are and how that plays out in responding to calls. We do have a slight increase in our pending, but nothing unique, being that our call volumes has remained low for a period of time as we go through this COVID period. Being that we are in this COVID period and the call volumes are low, the number of sick outs does not have a dramatic effect on our response and our ability to address any given emergency that arises in the city. Any questions of me as it relates? Any other questions of me?
Chief Bryant, this is Councilmember Shepherd. I want to thank you for coming this morning. And so I just want to make sure we've had this briefing so that when folks are talking and saying there's problems across the city, that we are very clear by across the community. You all are covered. We're covered at the police department in every zone. We know that, we're having to do a lot of special details and things for folks because of the protesting, but people are calling and asking questions in terms of the comfort of our police officers also being able to be deployed into our communities. And so I just want to thank you for that update. And you basically are saying that you all have to do an assessment and you're covering it. And are you feeling pretty comfortable with what we have at this point?
Well, Councilmember, I'm glad you would ask that. The answer is yes. I'm very proud of the men and women of Atlanta, and they continue to show up day in and day out, even during these very challenging times. We will not fail this city. Officers are tired and rightfully so and stressed. But the majority of us will continue to stand as guardians of this city to make sure that every citizen is safe. And so, yes, I'm very comfortable with where we are.
Okay. Can you all hear me now? I hope I'm being heard.
Yes,
you are. Okay, I kind of got off. Ms. Shepherd, were you done? Well, let me just one last question. I just want to make sure that we have contingency plans also. If things get a little worse, we have plans. And so can you tell me you don't have to tell me what that plan is. Let's not talk about what the plan is, but just in terms of making sure we have a backup plan.
Absolutely, Councilmember. We are working on every given scenario that we may run across. And as we see it, we generally put a contingency plan in place. We're utilizing some now as we shift resources to make sure that we're properly staffed.
Thank you. That's all I have, Madam Chair. All right, and members, I understand, Mr. Brown, have you joined us?
I have, Madam President.
Any other? I think that's all the members. Can we get a count?
Mr. Shook has too.
Mr. Shook, have you joined us?
Thank you, yes.
And Archibald, too. And Archibald. Mr. Clerk, where are we with members?
Madam President, we have all members present.
All right, thank you all. If you would like to speak to Chief Bryant, would you please indicate on your speaker button? For those of you who are not signed in, to indicate on the speaker button. I will call for you after I go through the list that are online. So first speaker is Mr. Dickens.
Yeah, thank you, Chief Bryant, for your leadership, and I guess congratulations on your new role. And you've been a stalwart across the city for many years, so I'm appreciative of your leadership at this time. Do you currently know how many officers have resigned or taken early retirement in the past, say, 2 or 3 weeks?
In the past, the number as of the beginning of this week, we had 8 officers to resign or retire, and that's not an unusual number.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's not.
Okay.
Go ahead. What were you about to say? I'm sorry.
No, anything that may have transpired this week, I've not had an account for. I'm sorry, I stand corrected. It's a total of 9 as of June 1st. Total of 9.
Okay, so that's as of June 1st, and so you don't have an accurate count from June 1st to today's date just yet?
That's correct, and there was a report of 1 leaving on yesterday.
Okay, so media reports had it as many as 19, but that, I don't take those as gospel, but they're getting their information from somewhere, and I'm finding that I'm not comfortable with the position of us hearing this information from the media. So is there a way to improve how fast you determine or find out that people are quitting? Is it from HR, or how would you know?
Yeah, so Councilmember, thank you for that question. We go through HR to get our exact numbers. I've had some conversations where the media may have gotten that number. I talked to that source, and they admitted that they did not vet the numbers, and they were operating off of what they were told, and so that number is incorrect.
Okay. All right, that's good. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you. That's it, Madam President.
Thank you. The next speaker is Mr. Hillis.
Thank you, Madam President. And thank you for the briefing, Interim Chief Bryant. As following on Councilmember Dickens' request, should we reach out to Interim HR Commissioner Norman for those numbers, or is that something you can get for us in a timely fashion?
I'll be able to get those numbers.
Okay. And then, as far as speaking of reports and what we've seen in the news and social media, it was either last night or the night before there were reports of over 500 pending 911 calls that weren't being answered. Is that number true? And if not, then what's the maximum backlog of 911 calls? Idling.
Yes, absolutely not. We've not had anywhere near that number of 600 calls in the pending. I talked to our 911 dispatcher. We are seeing upwards of 30 calls in the pending, and those numbers are generally our lower priority calls, and then which again it may be above average for certain times, but not significantly out of the norm.
What did you say the number was again? I'm sorry.
Upwards of 30. That I would have to get the specific numbers on out of any peak. But the average is that she, if I'm not mistaken, she told me was about 30 in the 30s.
Okay. And I know we have our beat officers that are usually answering 911 calls, or from what I'm hearing, for the most part, the officers that are calling out. So what level are we up to at backfilling now? Do we have sergeants and lieutenants or captains and majors answering calls, or where are we at with that?
So I want to be clear that all officers are able to answer 911 calls. Right now, what we have in the zones is the resources, our field resources, supplemented by some of our auxiliary resources. Supervisors are still out in the zone. Some may be answering calls, but that's not an unusual thing either when any zones are tremendously busy or find themselves backed up on calls. But right now, we're adequately staffed. Pending hasn't gotten out of control at all today.
Okay. Thank you, and that's all I have for now, Madam President.
Okay, the next speaker is Mr. Schiff. Does anyone want to speak at Mr. Schiff that is not online?
Okay, thank you. Chief, to what extent are you receiving supplemental law enforcement support from other agencies?
At this time, the only supplemental support that we're having are the individuals that helped us throughout the protest, and that would be Fulton County, Fulton County SO at this particular time. It's not unusual when we see large events that we bring in additional resources from different agencies out of partnering agencies. But as it relates to responding to 911 calls, we've not had any additional support in that space.
Would it be helpful if we did?
Not at this particular time, sir. Nothing indicates that we need outside assistance to respond to 911 calls.
I see. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Schiff. Any member that is not on the system want to speak?
Yeah, this is Councilmember Winslow. I just wanted to, I've worked with Rodney, the interim chief, when he was in Zone 4, and you did a admirable job there, and so we appreciate what you're doing as the interim chief. So thank you for that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Any other members?
Madam
Yes.
President. Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Chief Bryant, for the report. I want to say for the record, in this time of protest that the city is dealing with, everyone has the right to protest, including the police. You know, the United States of America. Though some people may not agree with the protesters and the activities that are going on in our streets. Some may not agree with the actions of these officers, but it is the beauty of America, tradition of Atlanta, that everyone has the right to protest. But in that vein, as I have encouraged the mayor to meet with those who are protesting in the streets, Chief, has there been any effort to dialogue with the rank and file about the occurrences as it relates to charges against APD officers over the last 2 weeks? Has there been any kind of communication or any sessions with not just the union leadership, but with the rank and file about how they're feeling? Because this is a stressful time in our city, and I can only imagine how stressful it is for those who are responsible for keeping the peace and then having to deal with the incidences, the tragic incidences that have occurred in our city.
Well, thank you for that question, Councilmember, and acknowledging all that you said. The answer, in short, is absolutely. One of the things that we immediately did was make sure that all the chiefs and all the command staff get in front of these officers and have dialogue with them to hear them out, to see what resolutions that we could bring into place. And right now, we understand their pain. And so we're doing the best that we can to ensure them that we're with them and will guide them through these most challenging times. And so what they need, just that, to be ensured that they're supported during these times.
Okay, thank you. I just want to say that in our event today at City Hall, there was only one police officer I saw. That was our police chaplain, and it was a prayer vigil, and he gave a rousing prayer that not only captivated those who were in attendance in our rally, but those who were leaving a rally on the opposite side of the building, when they saw the APC chaplain at the mic around these pastors giving a prayer, they left their march and came over to our event. And so I'm very concerned about the public safety in this city and very concerned about the incidences that officers and former officers of the Atlanta Police Department have been involved in. But I think I want to compliment you, Chief Bryant, for making that effort, and maybe we need to go beyond as we move forward. I don't think these protests are going to end anytime soon, particularly as we get close to the presidential election. And so we're going to be depending on APD not only for the regular services that they provide, but of course to accommodate the civil disobedience which the city prides itself on. So if there's anything that we can do as a council, please let the rank and file know that for those who do well, we want to stand in support of them in their daily duty and in this extra duty that they have to continue to protect the public. And just to close, I found, even though I don't necessarily agree with stick-outs, but I find that people are, the burden that those who are in law enforcement, they get a double whammy. There are protests all around us in this city and around the country, but yet when those who have been protecting us, those who feel that they have been maligned as a group because of the negative actions of an individual or individuals, when they exercise their right, it's almost as if we expect them not to do it, or not to have to exercise the same rights that some of the protesters are exercising. And so I find the beauty of the situation that the city too busy to hate, the city that is the cradle of the civil rights movement, that people do exercise those rights, though we may not always agree with the reasons that they choose to do so. But I want to compliment you, Chief Bryan and Councilor Winslow. I remember when Chief Bryan was driving the paddy wagon back in the day. So
right,
you've come a long way up
to the scale. Yeah,
that's right, to the old house of pain, as we affectionately called it. And we appreciate you rising to the rank and this rising to the occasion. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you for those kind words, Council Member. Again, I just implore you all to continue be in support of the Atlanta Police, each individual officers, these zones, because they are going through significantly trying times, and still they have to come to work and deal with it. So I really appreciate those words and your continued support.
Thank you. Any other members for Mr. Chief Bryan? All right, thank you, Chief Bryan. I appreciate you being able to come on and to update the council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, members, now we will move into the adoption of the agenda. And I will, at one point, entertain a motion to adopt the agenda with the following changes. After the remarks by the public, the meeting will adjourn to meet again at 1 p.m. on Saturday, June 20th, 2020. I will just read that again for the public, that after remarks by the public, the meeting will adjourn to meet again at 1 p.m. tomorrow, which is Saturday, June 20th, 2020. Also, under legislative items for consideration, we will reorder them to have number 1 be the resolution 20R4068, number 2 20O1352, which is the personnel paper, and the final item being 20O1260. Ms. I, I'll entertain that motion.
Okay, well, you said adjourn. I believe we want to recess after public comment.
This is from the parliamentarian. This is the language that he said is appropriate, because we will not want the meet. This meeting will continue tomorrow, but we're going to adjourn for today after the public comment. So we don't want to. If we can have Mr. Conway explain, we don't want to have this meeting going on after the public comment, but we will reconvene at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
I'm not challenging the reconvening. It's just when I have spoken with the law department, the language in order to keep in compliance with the state law notice requirement of the language that they had suggested that we use or recommended that we use was that we recess, not adjourn.
Okay, so if the law department, before we do this, because we went back and forth and got this language from the parliamentary. Mr. Conway, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm also here.
Okay, so who wants to go first?
Let me go first. For purposes of the notice that is required through open meetings, particularly when you're talking about a specially called meeting, it is important that the language used is recess, not adjourn. And we followed up with the AG's office this morning just to be clear that we won't be in violation. And so we have to use the language recess as opposed to adjourn.
Okay, Mr. Conway, any other statement? I can change the motion for Ms. I.
No, that's absolutely acceptable, of course. Dennis Conway, parliamentarian for the Atlanta City Council. The wording that I provided is from parliamentary language. If the statute of the state of Georgia differs and modifies that particular statement, then it's recognized by all parliamentarians and attorneys as well that the state statute requirement will be followed.
Okay. So I will just restate that I will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda with the following changes. After the remarks by the public, the meeting will recess to meet again at 1 p.m. on Saturday, June 20th, 2020. The order of the legislation for consideration will be reordered to have 20R4068, which is a resolution, followed by 20O1352, the personnel paper, and the final item being 20O1260. I'll entertain that motion, Ms. I.
Okay, I would like to make one change to that again. The order that I would like to take the budget-related papers in is the personnel paper, then the resolution, then the budget. And I've talked that through with the administration, and that's what, for various reasons, we think makes the most sense.
Okay. So let me read it one more time with that addition. That's not a problem. So I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda with the following changes. After the remarks by the public, the meeting will adjourn. Let me start over. I'll entertain a motion for the adoption of the agenda with the following changes. After the remarks by the public, the meeting will recess to meet again at 1 p.m. on Saturday, June 20th, 2020. Under legislative items for consideration, the first item will be 20O1352, the personnel paper. The second item will be 20R4068, which is a resolution, and the final item will be 20-1260, the proposed budget. I'll entertain that motion.
All right, so moved.
Is there a second?
Second, Massacre.
Okay, motion by I, second by Massacre. Any discussion? Ms. Shepherd, I see you.
Yes. I think it's important that we talk about why we actually moving it to tomorrow in terms of public comment, how many calls we have, how long it takes. So as opposed to just doing that, explain why.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you. So for the public, we do have a final count of 1,073 comments, and that will be a total of 16 hours, 56 minutes, and 49 seconds. The council wants to hear all public comments that have been received, and because of the length, that would take us well into the morning, and we did not want to take up legislative items at 2 o'clock in the morning. So what we're doing is recessing the meeting until tomorrow at 1 p.m. so that everyone will be awake, fresh, and that the public can tune in at 1 p.m. tomorrow to hear us, the council, deliberate on the budget. Is that sufficient, Mr. Shepherd? Thank you. Okay, Mr. Clerk, can we? Mr. Clerk, can we open the vote on the adoption of the agenda with the changes listed?
The vote is open.
Ms. Winslow, how do you vote?
In the affirmative.
Overstreet, yes. Okay, I'm going to go down the list. Yes, Ms. Overstreet, yes. Ms. Boone?
Yes.
Mr. Dickens?
I did mine online.
Okay, Mr. Bond?
Yes.
Okay. All votes are cast.
The vote is now closed. Populating votes now. Yeas, 0 nays.
15 yeas, 0 nays. The agenda is adopted. Our next item is the invocation, but we have two members indicating they want to speak. Ms. Ives?
Yeah, I apologize. I have got notes from law saying that there was actually some specific additional language that they had gotten cleared with the AG, that in their conversation with the AG, making sure this complied with all the state law requirements, that what the motion that they had gotten approved was if the public comment went beyond midnight tonight, that then we would automatically go into a recess at the close of public comment. So law wanted me to raise that issue, that's actually specifically what they got cleared with the AG, and they would prefer that be the motion that we make. So apologies, I didn't get that message before we voted.
Mr. Conway, can we do a separate motion to add that stipulation, because it definitely will go beyond midnight? Hold on one second, Ms. I. He's talking to me on the other line. Hold on one second. Okay, Ms. Iod, if you would state that, we can, if there's no objection from any member, adopt that on unanimous consent. So would you please read what we need to add?
Okay. So the language that we need to add is that if public comment is still going on at midnight, that we will, hold on one second. So if public comment goes beyond midnight tonight, Friday the 19th, we will continue until the end of public comment, and then we shall take a recess and reconvene at 1 p.m. on Saturday, June 20th.
Is there a second?
Second, Matsakite.
Second, Brown.
Okay, motion by I, second by Matsakite. On unanimous consent of all members that are present, we will adopt that amendment to the agenda. Okay? Without objection, is there any objection? Hearing none, we have further amended the adoption of the agenda. Thank you, Ms. Hyde.
Thank you, Council President.
Was there anyone else that wanted to speak before we go into the invocation? Okay, Ms. Archibald. No? All right.
No,
so we will.
I just want to, from a technical perspective, the logging in, a lot of times we get bounced off if there's no activity with the computer. I'm just wondering, are we just supposed to stay logged in and try to keep refreshing the computer, or is it just we can listen?
I think that it's best, and I do want to make a note, another note you reminded me. It's probably best that you listen, particularly when it gets late into the evening. You can listen on Facebook or the YouTube or Channel 26 or online. Those are ways that people can listen. Because you might get cut off and, you'll have to keep your device running. But I would ask all members to make sure that they begin to log on tomorrow by noon to make sure that if you have any technical difficulties with the system that we can get you back logged on. But I wouldn't necessarily, there's no reason for you to stay logged into e-boardroom throughout the night.
And so the recess is going to be automatic, or will there have to be a second vote after midnight?
It will be automatic. We've made that as a part of the adoption of our agenda.
All right, thank you.
Okay, and so I will reiterate to the public, once we get to the remarks of the public, we will take up legislation to adopt the budget, but it will be done at 1 o'clock tomorrow on Saturday. Also want to let people know, particularly those who are listening to this meeting or will be listening through Facebook, because of a time limitation on the live stream, that we will have to take a couple of breaks. Again, we have 1,073 comments, 16 hours, 56 minutes, and 49 seconds of comment. So there will be a break at 7 p.m., and there will be a break at 2 a.m. So what will happen is the live stream will go away, and then we will restart a new live stream. So make sure if you are listening at 7 p.m., it will go off on the live stream that we're on now, and then we'll start up a new one. And at 2 a.m., we will do the same thing. So you can always access it by Facebook, but you may have to jump on a new stream after 7 and after 1 a.m. Any other technical issues that people have questions or concerns about before we get into the invocation? Okay, if not, for the invocation, we will take a moment of silence if all can assume a posture of meditation. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And I have been informed by Mr. Massenberg that after public comments start, for you not to log off, for you to not log off of the system, to stay logged in. All right. So now we will go to communications, Mr. Clerk.
Madam President, there is one 20-C-0052, a communication from Council President Felicia A. Moore, calling a virtual special call meeting of the Atlanta City Council on Friday, June 19, 2020 at 11 a.m. to consider 20-O-1260, 20-O-1352, and 20-R-4068. Staff recommendation to accept and file.
Okay, staff recommendation is to accept and file. Is there any discussion? With that, on unanimous consent, is accepted and filed. Okay, I did see on Facebook, I just want to clarify for people, the public comment period has closed. All of our public comment that we receive via voicemail has to be received 1 hour before the start of the meeting. This meeting started at 11 a.m. and so public comment has ended. And so tomorrow when we start with the legislation, we will begin straight into the legislation. And I've also been told that I was wrong, that I read it wrong. No, ma'am, they cannot. Okay. You can log off. Once we get into the public comment, members, you can log out of the e-boardroom. You do not have to stay on the e-boardroom. So I just want you to be clear that you can log out of that. You don't need to leave your system running all night. But I would ask you to please make sure that you log on to the system by noon. So by noon, we should start logging on so they can do whatever technical issues they have. So before we go into public comment, I'm going to just reiterate that in case some people have just joined us. We have received 1,073 public comments prior to the cutoff time to receive them, which was 10 a.m. this morning. We will be playing all of the public comments that have received. That will run for 16 hours, 56 minutes, and 49 seconds.
It's not big, but it's like.
Please put your phone on. Please put your phone on mute. Okay. So again, the public comments will run for 16 hours, 56 minutes, and 49 seconds. You can view this on Channel 26. You can view this on the City of Atlanta's website, YouTube, I believe Twitter, and Facebook. For those of you who are on Facebook, we will take a break at 7 p.m. because of the max time that we have for the live stream. You will exit the live stream that you're on now, and then you will see a notification when the new live stream comes up, and we will continue. We will do the same thing at 2 a.m. So, are there any questions, comments, or concerns from members before we go into public comment? Because we will not be talking again until 1 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, and I'm just being notified that for all streams, for those who are on, whether it's the city's website, whether you're on cable channel 26, whether you're on Twitter or Instagram or anywhere, everybody's going to be breaking. All of our live streams will break at 7 p.m. and 2 a.m. in the morning. Thank you. Now, last call for comments, questions or concerns from members. Okay, we are ready for the public comment. Again, it will be 16 hours, 56 minutes, 49 seconds, 1,073 comments. You will hear from your council again at 1 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday. We will take 2 breaks to re-queue up the public comment at 7 p.m. and 2 a.m. Let's play the public comment.
Good morning. My name is Jessica Colvin, and I'm calling about the budget proposal that would like to send $12 million more to the police department, and I'm calling to voice my concern and disappointment about that. I think especially at this time, that sends a terrible message. I think it shows a lack of imagination on part of the city council that money is still being directed towards the police and money being taken away from the executive offices when $12 million could be going to programs that will help build the community and not just help police it. And I think especially at this time that is just a terrible blow to the community and to morale to see that still after all of this, after these past few weeks, $12 million is going to be $12 million more is proposed to be sent to the police department. Defund the police. Defund the police. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Claire Docklea. I'm a constituent of Fulton County. And I think that in light of everything that we've been realizing, we've been seeing all of the protests, it is really important to decrease our funding of the police rather than increase it. Decrease funding and move that funding towards our crumbling infrastructure, to move it towards parks and recreation, towards retaining our roads, towards community programming and more public housing. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Cameron Koval, who's a resident of Cameron Park. I'm calling to voice my support for defunding the Atlanta Police Department, reallocating the resources to more effective community-based strategies for reducing crime and increasing safety. Your job to get this done, or you'll be voted out. City is watching. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Chase Kamutsi, and I am a resident of Midtown Atlanta, Fulton County, and I'm calling about the fiscal year 2021 budget. And I just wanted to raise my concerns as a citizen about the $12 million or the general increase to the police budget, and voice some serious concerns about the cut from the executive offices, which deals with a lot of issues I think we're seeing right now that police shouldn't be dealing with. I mean, human trafficking and human services are huge issues that the city needs to address and support throughout all of our communities, but especially our communities with people of color who are hurting so deeply right now. I want to voice serious concerns about the cut from the executive offices. And, you know, I'd like to ask that y'all consider those who are making statements about defunding the police. I think there is some valid content in there, and I strongly disagree with the $12 million increase to the police budget this year. I think we should consider increase to the executive offices instead. Thank you so much for your time and for letting me voice my opinion at this hearing.
Hello, my name is Anna Gonzalez. I'm a resident of Atlanta, Georgia, Fulton County. I am calling to express concern with today's proposal to cut $1.2 million from the executive offices. As I'm sure you know, Atlanta has an incredible human trafficking issue, a large homeless population, and I believe that the cut will only worsen these issues, among many others. I'm also calling for the City Council to fund the police. The money used for unnecessary bonuses, military training and military weapons, that lead to innocent lives being taken could be put to better use in other community programs. I urge you to consider those today when you make your decision. Thank you. Hi, this is Rebecca Rodriguez. I live in West End in Atlanta, and I'm calling to encourage you to defund the police. It's ridiculous how much money they have to just hurt people and armor themselves against communities, when really we should be investing money in community support systems. So I urge you today to think of that and to consider all of the voices who are calling in and asking the same. The public doesn't want this, and you should be doing what the public wants. Thank you. Bye.
Hello, my name is J.D. Tenaro. I am an Atlanta resident in District 6, represented by Jennifer and I. Since there's another meeting today, I wanted to call and express my concern further over the proposed budget plan. Proposed adding $12 million to the police budget alone is alarming in the wake of the police brutality protest, but to also cut just over $1 million from the executive offices in that same budget plan says to citizens that the welfare of Atlanta is the least of your priorities. If you need a reminder, the executive offices contain the offices of Human Services and Human Trafficking, Equity, Division, and Inclusion, Immigrant Affairs, and Sustainability. I hope the council is able to reach a conclusion soon as to where this proposed $12 million could be more impactful to the city of Atlanta. Thank you. Have a good day.
Hi, my name is Isabella Ross, and I live in East Atlanta. I'm calling to ask that you please defund the police and put funding into low-income neighborhoods. I'm a resident of the East Atlanta area my whole life, and I've watched how it's been completely gentrified and pushed out low-income families to accommodate rich white people, and I think we need to value our low-income communities and stop funding the police department who's just killing people, especially from these communities. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Malika Mose, and I'm a resident of Atlanta, living off North Hewitt Hills Road. I just want to say that before the meeting, please consider defunding the police and reallocating the funds typically given to police to other social services, especially education, and reinvesting in communities that need the money, that are lacking in what they need to be their fully functioning selves. Mainly for Black neighborhoods in Atlanta. Specifically, I don't believe that police need to be non-existent. Yes, we do need police in our society, but they do not need as much money as we give them as the city of Atlanta. They're able to get right here so quickly when hospitals were short on PPE due to COVID-19. Right here is way more expensive than a hospital PPE. This should not happen. For the safety of our citizens, we need to provide our citizens with the social services, the funds for social services. Why does the police have so much money in the city of Atlanta? Because they have so much money, I believe that's why they believe they have so much power. We have to send a message. We have to actually have action for all the consequences, to reflect all the consequences by police in today's society against brown and Black people. Thank you, and I hope you consider this. Bye.
Hi, my name is Jenny Beadle. I am residing a homeowner in NPUW, City Council District 5, Ormwood Park. I've been an Atlanta native for 20 years now, and just want to voice my strong recommendation that the City Council and Mayor Bottoms hear our collective cry to defund the police and to reallocate funding into areas that truly serve and protect our communities, given the track record and the fact that the areas of our communities that need assistance of serving and protecting most are the ones who are afraid of our police and are being killed by them. I believe that in this time, with so much change happening, it is a perfect time for
our city leadership to step up and rise to the challenge to make changes that we can make happen and to truly serve our communities, to make Atlanta an even greater place to live. I urge you to do the right thing here and to put aside your collective alliances with things that do not assist our communities and really step out of your comfort zone to help make these changes for the people. I appreciate your time. And
hi, my name is Joe Stouter, and I live in District 6, represented by Jennifer and I in the City Council. I was calling to talk about defunding the police, as there's a meeting on that today and I believe a vote. We've called in before, and I listened to several hours of people demanding that the City Council defund the police. I wanted to be more specific in that not only right now are we not defunding the police, but the proposed budget adds $12 million to the police budget. The police have shown themselves again and again to be ineffective at reducing and preventing crime, at protecting and serving the communities that they swore to. In addition, we've also been cutting the budget from other departments to get better for these things. So the executive offices, for example, which contains human services, anything on trafficking, equity, diversity, and inclusion, immigrant affairs, and sustainability, those have been getting cut as the police budget has risen. So when we say defund the police, we will take that proposed $12 million increase and distribute it among the services that actually work and don't repeatedly kill Black people for no reason. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lauren Pendleton. I'm a resident of the Cannon Park neighborhood in the city of Atlanta. I am calling to ask that the city of Atlanta defund the police force. Additionally, asking for participatory city budgeting, divestment from criminalization, and an investment in public health, signature bonds and needs assessments and first appearance courts, ending cash bail, ending participation in GILEE. Thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Amelia Wrightson. I'm a nurse in Atlanta, and I live in District 1. I'm calling today to ask you to vote no on the proposed budget and to defund the Atlanta Police Department. It is unbelievable that y'all were ever planning to allocate 1/3 of the city budget to police. But in light of the recent events, including the murder of Rayshard Brooks and the resulting public outcry, it would be a betrayal. Research has proven that more police do not make communities safer. Access to equitable resources does. We are asking you to decrease the police budget and reallocate those funds to community services. Please do not ask us to reimagine the police. I've read your trash resolution and it does not meet our demands. We do not accept your reforms or trainings. We do not accept your task forces, and we do not accept your inaction. Years of data has proven that reform does not prevent police violence and discriminatory policing practices. Show us that you are voting in the interest of your constituents and vote no on this proposed budget. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Giovanni Tortorici. I live in Fulton County, specifically in the Edgewood area. I just want you guys to know that reimagining the police is not enough. Okay, we need to defund the police. Specifically the Atlanta Police Department, and we need to reallocate the resources to fund and demolish all the jails so we can restore justice for our people. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dallas Dean. I live in Capitol View. I'm calling to say that I think there is a lot of data out there that shows that the public is better served by investing in education and communities, and some of the branches that you all are, with the current proposed budget, wants to cut, such as those in the executive offices. Our money, our tax money, is much better spent investing in those resources, and it will create a safer community than just an increased police budget. But please reconsider the budget and divest from the police force and invest in the actual community that it's meant to serve. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Valdal. I live in Atlanta. I just want to give extra funding to the police department. I would prefer that you give the extra funding to the executive officers that have with equity, diversity, inclusion, immigrants, disabilities, and trafficking, and human services. I think that is a good use of the budget going forward. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Hyunju Lee. I've resided in Gwinnett County in Duluth, Georgia for about 2 years now. I am calling on behalf of the Black Lives Matter movement. I identify as an Asian American woman, but wanted to question and encourage the City Council in terms of its decision to raise police funding by $12 million. I think this is a grievous mistake in terms of all the things that have been going on, but in particular, the recent shooting of Rashard, and I just don't think that this is a decision that's grounded on human rights or care for citizens, because the current proposal cuts more than $1 million off of the executive offices that houses defense branches related to equity, diversity, and inclusion, human trafficking, immigrant affairs, and human services. I believe that this is where the funding should be going towards. So I implore that these decisions around raising the $12 million budget for police be reconsidered. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Declan Greenwald. I'm a resident of the Virginia Highlands neighborhood, NTUX, in the 5th Georgia Congressional District. I would like to make some comments on the adoption of the FY 2021 fiscal budget. Reimagining the police is not enough. We must defund the Atlanta Police Department and reallocate its money. The department's FY 2021 budget should be cut by at least 50% by reducing APD's scope of work, starting with relieving all officers from quality of life policing positions. These funds should be reallocated to community-based resources, including but not limited to the Department of Equity, diversion programs like pre-arrest diversion, education, and supplies and resources for healthcare workers on the front line of the COVID-19 pandemic. It is time to put an end to the systematically racist, ineffective, and oppressive form of policing by creating a 5 to 7 year plan to dismantle the Atlanta Police Department and build a new community-based, community-controlled public safety system. Thank you.
Hello, this is Ashley Brown. I am a Black female resident of Fulton County. I've lived in Southwest Atlanta for my entire life. I moved up through the school system from Maryland to Inman to Grady, and now I currently work for a law firm in downtown Atlanta in immigration law. I would just like to express my deep disappointment with Atlanta City Council's decision to continue to provide police, obviously corrupt police, with an increased budget. I really feel if the City Council cares about its constituents, it will do the right thing and, first of all, just completely do away with an increase in budget and salary, but also, just prioritize the citizens, as we are the people who pay everyone's salaries in the Atlanta City Council and in government. And we are the ones who keep it all going. So I would really appreciate, the fact that Black people are being killed in the streets. We're all watching it, we're all seeing it. I really, really implore our council people, our mayor, all of Atlanta, city employees to do the right thing in this instance and protect its citizens. Because right now we feel victimized by the police, by the government, etc. And if you really care about your citizens, you'll do the right thing, and you'll make sure that, first of all, the police budget, APD budget, will not be increased this year, and additionally, that the police will be defunded for a better future for everyone, so that we can ensure that communities are being served the way they should, as opposed to being attacked by people who literally swore an oath to protect and serve them. You can look at countless instances of Black people being victimized by the police across the nation, but especially in Atlanta, despite what Killer Mike, T.I., and Keisha Lance Bottoms said. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Blake Tumley. I live in the neighborhood Southall that's in Roswell, Georgia, on the 30075 zip code. And I think that we should take the $12 million proposal from the police, and while some of it can go to the police, we should also make sure to not cut the $1.2 million from the executive offices of equity, diversity, human capital, sustainability, and human services, such like social services. And we should make sure that we have a more balanced distribution of the money so that we can make sure the funds and be helpful for all areas in Georgia and in Atlanta, because my area is pretty well resourced and funded, but other areas are struggling and they have too much police action when they should have more resources. And I think that in not giving as much of the money as $12 million to the police, we should give it to some other services to make sure that we have a balanced area and that we can make sure that the right resources are going to the right communities that need it, because right now the policing is not the best option for many communities. So I hope that you consider that. And don't follow through with the proposals for now, because that would just be trash and not good for our overall community as a whole. Thank you. Bye. Defund the police and give it to other people. But keep the police, but give it to other people. Bye. Thank you. Please tell me 30075. Thanks. Bye.
Hi, this is Nathaniel Bird. I live in Decatur. I see that you're thinking about increasing the police budget this coming year several $1 million, and I personally would be in favor of actually decreasing the budget. But if you have to, just don't increase it. I would be more in favor of reallocating funds that are currently going towards things like riot gear, tear gas that's been banned in the Geneva Convention, and air raid sirens that are being used against mostly our own citizens. And instead of funding that, I would be in favor of reallocating funds to new training initiatives and things like that. But they don't need new money. It just needs to be moved around. That's my personal opinion, and that's the opinion of everybody in my household. So thank you, and please don't put more of our tax dollars into this police force.
Hi, this is Gwen Evans, just calling to make a request for the Atlanta City Council to consider maybe allocating some funds from law enforcement into libraries. I volunteered at a multitude of libraries in different precincts in Georgia and Maryland, and I really think they offer opportunities for local youth, the homeless population, just anyone that likes to read, an opportunity to kind of learn, better their communities, and just have a reprieve from the day-to-day. I know with coronavirus going on that the library might not be the first priority, but I think having some sort of remote work going into like a public library in Fulton County would be wonderful. Thank you so much for listening, and have a good morning. Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is Carla Wallace, and I'm calling from Peyton, Florida. I'm calling to tell the City Council that reimagining the police is not enough, and that we need to defund the police. Specifically, 60% of their budget must be taken away and redistributed to other programs that are going to help the community. For example, this includes, but is not limited to, the newly formed Department of Equity, the diversion programs such as peer-led diversion, and other community control programs. Now begin the hiring process of a new chief of police until community-based council can be formed to review APD scope of work and disperse hiring decision-making power across a community review committee. There have been there have been a few instances in the past where you have been able to make a change and do what is right, and you have consistently chosen to not do this. And there have been more solutions that were offered over and over again with each police killing. Lester Christian, DeAndre Phillips, Jeravis Rogers, Jimmy Atkinson, and Oscar Kane. Now we have Rashard Brooks, which is only one of many black people whose lives have been taken away at the hands of police officers. There has not been justice served, and you have the chance to make it, to do what is right at this moment. We have told you for weeks what we need, what we have to have done, and you have chosen to ignore it. If you do not change, there's no police reform or training that is going to fix the situation. You have increased the APDs. We've increased APD's budget year on year, and this still continues to happen. You need to learn that you need to defund the police and give back to the community in order to make a change.
My name is Rhonda Ponder, and I'm very concerned about the lack of police protection that I feel we have now because of all that has gone on in the policemen walking off the job. I do not blame the policemen. I don't know why they would want to go to work in this environment, and I think the mayor and the city council, I think it's up to y'all, because the laws are made by the city council and enforced by the mayor. The policemen are doing what they have been told to do. So I think the rush to judgment on this last incident, I don't know what happened to innocent before proven guilty. I think the violence is unacceptable, and I don't understand why anybody thinks any of this is okay. I understand that change needs to happen, but this is not the way. And you have a lot of people in the city who are ready to leave. So we don't feel safe, and we do not feel taken care of by our mayor. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rachel Weir. I live in Ormond Park, and I am calling for the defunding of the police and the allocation of funds to community-controlled public safety. I'm also calling for defunding the jails. Thank you.
Hi, this is Matthew Miller, and I live in Home Park. And I'm just calling to express my concern about the amount of money that goes into the policing budget. And I would ask that it would be reallocated to different programs in Atlanta, such as transportation and community development. The aftermath of the Rayshard Brooks murder has deeply affected me. And the fact that these police are not equipped to handle situations and de-escalate these situations does not warrant more money for the program. We need to reduce the amount of money that these programs cost and invest it in community development so that these sort of altercations do not happen in the future. It is simply unacceptable, and I would ask that you would reallocate funds from the policing budget. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Allison Bancroft, and I live in Virginia Highlands. I'm very concerned about the proposed budget for the upcoming fiscal year, and I'm calling to ask you to defund the police. Thank you, and if you have any additional questions for me, my number is 404-290-4086. Thank you, and goodbye.
Hello, my name is Matthias Rank. I'm a resident of the Capitol Hill neighborhood, and I'm calling to tell people Sean Bottoms that reimagining the police and reforming the police does not work. The police need to be defunded. Their budget needs to be cut. That money needs to be reallocated into community development that actually serves the residents and builds strong infrastructure for people. Strongly in support of defunding the police. The current budget is unacceptable, and I'm urging you to vote against that. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Annie
Bonk. I live in the 5th District. I'm calling because I would like for you guys to defund the police for the 2021 budget and redistribute those funds to more community measures. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. My name is Gabrielle Hall. I have a question. I want to know why so much money is allocated to the police and what it is going to be funding. And my comment on this is that I really don't care because there's no reason that the majority of the budget, or not majority, but the biggest portion of the budget should be going to the police. There have been issues in Atlanta time and time again. I was personally arrested by an officer. I am 5'1.5". I weigh no more than 130 pounds. And I was manhandled. I had bruises on my wrist. Thank God my brother is a partner at Owen & Gleaton, so I have the means and the resources to combat this. But people go through this every day, and there is no reason that people should be in fear of the police. There's no reason that when I see police behind me, my heart sinks. There's no reason that when lights come on and I hear a siren, I'm immediately frightened. That is ingrained in us. And instead of putting that money towards the police, why don't you put that towards some mental health? Why don't you put that towards education? Why don't you put that towards training? The money needs to be allocated in other places, and the police need to be dismantled.
Good evening. My name is Carla Valdez. I'm asking the city of Atlanta to not raise its budget for police. I'm asking for the city of Atlanta to raise its budget for our values and priorities, which should be education and infrastructure. Please increase the budget not for police, but for education, infrastructure, and hospitals. This is what we need most, not more funding for police. Thank you, and God bless.
Hi, this is Maya Smith, and I live in the Freedom Parkway neighborhood in Atlanta. And for the record, I think it's completely insane that Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom did propose taking money that was meant for the budget for the police, and instead of giving it back to the community, suggest that the jail personnel would be the people to be in charge of the community policing. I stated on her Instagram post of the reimagining of the 2021 budget. I think it's completely insane. I think it's completely cruel. I think you guys know exactly what you're doing. As a resident of the city, I fully am behind the movement to defund the police and put that money back behind the community. I think that the police have no part in anything for youth or education or any of the initiatives that you guys think are community-based. If you put police behind them, they're actually not community-based if it keeps going on like this. Again, we'll be watching tomorrow as you guys kind of come together and can reimagine this budget. But just know that people don't want it to be given to the police, want it to be put back into education and to youth and developmental services of the city. And the police have absolutely nothing to do with any of that. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Macy Williams. I'm from Swanee, Georgia, and I'm just calling to say that the police should be defunded. There should not be $12 million added to the police budget, and there should not be $1.2 million cut from the executive office's budget. Thanks. Bye.
Hello, my name is Jacob Williams, and I live in DeKalb County, and I am asking for you to not reimagine the police, but to defund the police and reallocate the resources. I would like the city of Atlanta to establish a reimagining of public safety plan, creating a 5 to 7 year plan to dismantle the APD and build a new community-based, community-controlled public safety system. The department's FY 2021 budget should be cut 50% by reducing APD's scope of work, with relieving officers from all of the forms of quality of life policing. All dollars saved from the reduction in APD's budget for the year should be reallocated to alternatives and community-based resources, including but not limited to the newly formed Department of Equity, diversion programs such as pre-arrest diversion and other community control programs. Do not begin a hiring process of a new chief of police until a community-based council can be formed to review APD's scope of work and disperse hiring decision-making power across the community review committee. Please decrease officer to resident ratio and demilitarize APD through assessing use of riot gear, chemical, and lethal weapons use. Please defund the police and reallocate the resources. Thank you very much.
Hello, this is Hannah McShane from Reynoldstown. I'm calling to demand that the police not simply be reimagined, but defunded. Too much money has gone into strengthening the inherently racist system of policing, and while the harm done cannot be undone, Atlanta has a responsibility to immediately reallocate police funding to strengthening services that actually solve problems and help people rather than murdering or locking them away. While in Atlanta we like to pretend that our policing is somehow less vile and racist than other states, the murder of Rayshard Brooks should be a wake-up call that we are every bit as violent and complicit, and we must do better. Doing better means reduction of the police force numbers, abilities, and resources. For too long, we have treated the police as the problem solvers of mental health and poverty in Atlanta. It's time that we actually solve the problem by putting police funding instead towards expanding mental health and education resources, community centers, and housing. We are demanding full defunding of the Atlanta City Detention Center and a 50% budget cut to APD. The blue flu in Atlanta following the charging of Rayshard Brooks' murderer is merely further evidence that the system of policing is nothing but a white supremacist cult loyal to protecting each member's racism in service to white supremacy. There is no reforming racism. There is only destroying it. Don't let us down again.
Good morning. This is Katie Mitchell. I live in Grant Park. I feel that the Atlanta Police Department needs to be defunded and those assets reallocated to community resources. We need to scale back services provided by the APD and let them focus on what they do best, which is not serving our community as well as it should be. I think we can do better for our citizens, and I think we deserve better. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Durrick, and I live in West Midtown, and I would like for the $12 million that's proposed to go to the police go to the executive offices and the Equality and Diversity and Inclusion office and the other public services you offer. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Andrew Cahill, and I currently live in Old Fourth Ward. I'm calling about the proposed budget increase for the police forces. I do not believe that this is a proper use of city funds. I understand that a review has occurred recently which showed that the police forces are currently not being paid the same amount as they are in comparable cities, but I believe that that's an issue that the city is actually interested in addressing. There's more than sufficient funds that are currently being allocated to the militarization of the police forces that those funds to boost pay raises could potentially come from. I think that a proper use for the proposed increase of about $50 million could instead go to better community services, such as the Office of Immigration Affairs or Sustainability, or especially Human Services, other ways that better support directly our community without adding to the threats that people currently feel from the police force. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Weiler. I'm an Atlanta native. I live in Reynoldstown, and I am strongly against Atlanta increasing its police budget. The police need to be defunded so that that money can be rerouted into services that actually keep our neighborhoods safer, like education, affordable housing, public health, etc. Also, we should close the Atlanta City Detention Center like Mayor Bottoms said she would in 2018 instead of increasing funding for it. After the murder of Rayshard Brooks and the brutalizing of Tanaya Pilgrim and Messiah Young, the nation has its eyes on Atlanta. It would be not only a travesty, but very embarrassing for Atlanta to respond at such a crucial moment by expanding its police funding. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Christine Rivera, a homeowner and constituent in Zone 4 of Atlanta, and I'm calling to ask that the Atlanta City Council defund the Atlanta Police Department by at minimum 50% and reallocate those funds towards community-based resources, including homeless and mental health assistance, ending cash bail, equity, inclusion, and diversity initiatives, ending human trafficking in the cities with the busiest international airport in the world, and to demilitarize and provide de-escalation training for the Atlanta Police Department. Thank you for your time.
Hello, my name is Katie Request, and I live in Atlanta City Council District Number 6. I'm calling because I'm concerned and very upset about police killings of Black people in Atlanta and this nation writ large. As the home of the civil rights movement, Atlanta should be modeling to the rest of the country what the fight for Black liberation looks like. Instead, as the events of the last few weeks have made clear, and the recent killing of Rayshard Brooks at the hands of the APD, Atlanta and its political leaders are at best complacent in the fight against systemic racism. This can and must change. Atlanta should join the cities in this country who are defunding the police and reimagining how public safety should work. Given this, I'm asking that the fiscal year 2021 budget have the following attributes incorporated. Cut the budget for the Atlanta Police Department by 50%, defund the Atlanta City Detention Center, and reinvest saved money in reentry programs, low-income housing, mental health services, and other social services. Thank you so much for listening.
Hi, my name is Billy Levine. I am a member of the Zone 6 community in Virginia Highlands, and I strongly support the massive defunding of our police department here in Atlanta. I do not see the purpose of having a massive amount of money going towards people that never make me or our community members safe. Thank you. Do the right thing.
Hi, I'm calling to voice my support for the movement to defund the police. I'm not calling for abolition of the police force or anything like that, but I feel that some of the funding that's given to the police could be reallocated into more constructive channels, into communities where a lot of the crime is coming out of, to hopefully remedy some of the primary causes of what is creating crime in these communities. And, hopefully can just be reallocated to a more constructive way. Because I feel that so much funding going to the police is really just creating a self-perpetuating situation where they have to go out and look for crime and criminalize. And I think it just could be a little bit, the money could be used better. Maybe. Not saying let's get rid of all the police. Let's take some of that money, use it for more constructive means so we don't have so many criminals in the first place. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
My name is Carol Mitchell. I'm calling to ask that you please do not take and cut the $1.2 million out of the executive offices that support equity, diversity, and inclusion, that ends human trafficking, that supports immigrant affairs, and provides other human services, including serving the homeless. Please do not put $12 million more into the police budget, wasting our taxpayers' dollars towards more violence in our community. It is not making our communities safer. It is taking lives. Please consider reforming, defunding, and rebuilding a system that will provide safety for all, justice for all.
and please consider moving funds into programs that promote health and well-being and community collaboration.
Hi, I am calling to make sure that the police is defunded. There should be no more money going into the police. We need to divest that money and put it into human services, sustainability, immigrant affairs. We need to end human trafficking. We need equity, diversity, and inclusion to be a priority. So that is my message. I live in Dicula, Georgia, and also Vinburg. My name is Sanasiani. Thank you. Have a good day.
Hello, Atlanta City Council. My name is Claire Barnes, and I am an alumni at Emory University. I'm calling because I know that your fiscal year and your budget is being considered, and I would like to ask the council to help me reconsider funding the police in Atlanta. And I know that there's a long history of police violence in South and in Atlanta, but I hope that you really do reconsider redirecting a lot of those funds into other public goods that would kind of address the systemic issues that lead to then crime in our cities. So I hope that you really do give that a huge consideration at this meeting. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kevin Bowman. I would like to tell the City Council that reimagining police is not enough. We want to defund the police. We want to take their funding and put it into education, social workers, things that would actually get to the root of crime rather than dealing with putting out a fire once it's already started.
Hi, my name is Sam Chase. I was born in Buckhead and I currently live there now. I've lived in Atlanta my whole life. And I do not support the $12 million increase in the Atlanta police budget for the next fiscal year. I strongly believe that the Atlanta Police Force should have a decrease in budget, in fact. And I believe that money should go towards social services, because currently in this city we criminalize the homeless, and we punish people that have mental illness and struggle with addiction instead of helping them. And I find that entirely un-American and injustice. Thank you so much.
This is Chelsea Thomas calling to urge you to defund the police, invest in evidence-based changes that will change behaviors unlike the current prison system.
Good morning. My name is Brianna McKagan. I'm a resident of Atlanta, and I am calling in regards to the proposed budget. The proposal is to cut $1 million from the executive offices, which contain the offices of equity, diversity, and inclusion, the end of human trafficking, and immigrant affairs, and human services and sustainability. I do not support that. I think that definitely cannot be cut. Those are the most important things. Cutting those is systemically oppressive and racist. I also do not support the proposal to add $12 million to the police budget. This is the point of all the protests. We need to defund the police and invest in our communities. They already received an increase of $5 million last year. I'm tired of giving my money to an organization that kills Black people. Thank you. Please keep these into your consideration. I really, really hope and pray that you guys make the right decision with our taxpayers and serve us appropriately.
Hi, hello, my name is Emily Stevens. I live in Cameron Park. I'm calling about the fiscal budget for the coming year. I'm expressing my concern and I would like a lot of that money in the budget to be reallocated from the police into other community organizations, into creating new structures so that we can have, actual mental health professionals,
more social workers, people who are able to provide the actual services that our community needs. I would like us to look forward and become a community that builds up instead of being reactive. And in my opinion, the police are mostly a reactive force, which is needed in a very few cases. But for the most part, we need preventative measures in our community, and I would like that money to be taken from the police budget that is proposed, defunding that area, and putting those funds into other areas of the budget. That is my explicit request, and we're all watching. Thank you.
Hi, this is Katie Wickline. I live in Grant Park, in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm calling to ask that we reallocate the millions of dollars we spend on the police and the police services and put them towards public, parks and recreation, public works, towards other assets in our city that can help make our city great. The murder of Richard Brooks was unconscionable, and the administrative orders to make our city better are not enough. They're great steps, but to really make lasting change and rehabilitate our city rather than dehumanize our individuals, we need to put our funds towards other places in our city. When our police need to be held accountable, and that's going to come from systemic change. The police force as a whole has always been rooted in white supremacy and in dehumanizing Black people. And I am asking, as a white person and as someone who cares so deeply about the Black people in our community, that we reallocate our funds from the police force to other parts of our city towards rehabilitating Atlanta rather than dehumanizing the marginalized groups in our city. Thank you.
My name is Camilla Espana, and I live in Inman Park. Thank you so much for your service to the city, first of all. Secondly, I wanted to ask that you please reconsider the budget cuts to the executive offices, many of which include services that are incredibly important to the city, including the human trafficking services, being the #1 city for human trafficking in the country. I think that's incredibly important. Also, with equity, diversity, and inclusion, especially with everything going on right now. I think that's one of the only ways we're going to get out of this ahead and be a city that we are all proud of. And I think we need to defund the police, to use that money in other ways, especially towards human services with the incredibly high homeless population we have here in the city, especially over here in Old Forest Ward and Edgewood. And the numbers seem to keep going up. Whether or not that's actually true, the conditions seem to be getting worse, not better. So please consider taking some of the money away from the police budget and using it for more humane things around the city and making our city somewhere we're all proud of. Thank you. Bye-bye.
My name is Erin Swartz. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and I would love to defund the police and use our resources to go to other aspects in our community, whether that be our healthcare system, our school system, but we do not need the police to have another $5 million.
Hi, my name is Paige Farley, and I am requesting that you do not add any money to the police budget for equipment in particular and for any other unessential pieces. I'd rather have that money sent to mental health, to communities, to education, to anything but continuing to invest in our police department. That budget's already high enough. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sarah Stokes. I live in North Druid Hills. I would like to comment that I personally would not be interested in you increasing the police budget this year.
I think due to everything that's going on, it has been revealed that that has not helped in a way that we would hope that it does. And they have not been able to protect our citizens in the correct way. So I would ask that budget increase be moved over to social services and other community aspects that would actually further the safety of our communities. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Isabella Sadek. I live in District 41. I want you to know that reimagining the police is not enough. We need them to be defunded. We need those resources reallocated to different areas in our community. We need to defund and demolish the Atlanta City Detention Center. And we need justice for our people. We need to hold the APD officers who have killed civilians accountable. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Emma Ginnessy. I live in Atlanta City Council District 7. I am calling to say that providing further funding is not enough to address the problems within our police force. As evidenced by Rayshard Brooks and subsequent call-outs by APD members in support of the arrested officer, we clearly have a real problem here. We need to immediately have the APD budget for 2021 and reduce their scope of work by eliminating quality of life policing. We need to provide this funding to the Department of Equality, pre-arrest diversion programs, or other community benefit programs like affordable housing or accessible health care. We need a 5 to 7 year plan to dismantle the APD and replace it with a community-based public safety system. Please also fire the APD officers who killed Alexia Christian, Oscar Kane, and DeAndre Phillips for failure to follow policy and procedure and even intentionally keeping their body cams off. Thank you.
Hi, this is Isabella Sadek from District 41. Just want to provide some more details on how you can accomplish those goals. We need a plan creating a 5 to 7 year initiative to dismantle the APD and build a new community-based, community-controlled public safety system in the fiscal year 2021 budget. The department needs to be cut by 50%, reducing APD's scope of work, starting with relieving officers from all other forms of quality of life policing. All dollars saved from reduction in the APD's budget in fiscal year 2021 should not be reallocated to alternatives, should be reallocated to alternatives and community-based resources, including but not limited to the newly formed Department of Equity, Division diversion programs such as pre-arrest diversion and other community-controlled programs. Do not begin the hiring process of a new chief of police until a community-based council can be formed to review the APD scope of work and disperse hiring decisions to make power across a community review committee. Decrease officer to resident ratio and demilitarize the APD through assessing use of riot gear, chemical, and lethal weapons use. To defund and demolish the jail, please close the jail by July 1st, 2020. Ensure proper resources are allocated to demolish the building and commit its demolition on or before September 1st, 2021. Adopt the Reimagine ACDC Task Force policy recommendations and decriminalize the city code. Finally, fire and prosecute Alexa Christian, Oscar Kane, and DeAndre Phillips, who are the officers that killed civilians. Thank you.
My name is Eric Miller. I'm a resident of Kirkwood, and I'm calling to ask that the City Council divest money from APD and put it into other social services.
Hello, my name is Monica Flamini, and I live in Midtown neighborhood with the zip code 30308. I'm calling today to voice my objection to the proposal seeking to add $12 million to the police budget. Last year, I understand that there was a $5 million increase that funded pay raises for cops and more equipment. In lieu of that $12 million police budget, I'm asking for the city to defund the police because of recent events and because of systemic racism that has always been present in this country. I'm also asking for the reversal of the proposal that seeks to cut $1.2 million from the executive offices of equity, diversity, and inclusion, and human trafficking, immigrant affairs, sustainability, and human services. As a member of this community for all of my life, I am asking this from the bottom of my heart, please, please, please do not go and add $12 million to the police budget. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Zach Lowell. I'm a Kenwood Park resident, and I'm calling in support of defunding the police budget and supporting other programs such as affordable housing, homelessness assistance, help with addiction and mental health, and many other pressing needs we have that the police cannot address. And in order to rebuild the trust between community and police, we need a far more far-reaching and a far more just system of public assistance. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ryan DiMattia. I'm a resident of East Atlanta Village. I'm calling to let you know that reimagining Atlanta Police Department without a quantitative change to their budget, not only is that not appropriate, it's not your job. Kindergartners, it's not your job to imagine things or run imagination exercises. It is your job to control the budget of this city. It is your job to reduce the budget of APD when they are murdering Atlanta citizens. Anything less than that, and you are complicit in the murder of your fellow citizens. It's not your job to be imagining things. It's your job to be fixing things. So how about you start fixing them?
My name is Lisa Floyd. I work in the West Side. I am explicitly stating in this message that reimagining police is not enough. We do not need reforms. We want and need defunding. Telling you all to defund the police doesn't just mean transferring $2 million to another institution. It does not mean transferring $2 million to another sector of government. It means to all of the money that is specifically utilized for the police department and for militarizing the police needs to be used in grants, needs to be used in nonprofit organizations, needs to be used and reallocated. All of the money needs to be reallocated into institutions and into parts of the government that explicitly help with the things that police pretend to. In order to keep children safe, you must make sure that they have access to education and other resources. That is safety. When they have the ability to get out of the specific institutions that hold them down, the racism that holds them down. We have nonprofits that receive grants so that they can provide for people to keep them safe, to center the community, not centralize racism, much like the police department. That's why we need to defund this police department.
Nancy Wiley. I live in North Buckhead Neighborhood Association. I'm calling to encourage you to eliminate cash bail, close the jail so that we don't have people spending time in jail for minor offenses, and transfer money from the police department to social services so that we don't have police going out on what could be better handled by health professionals. Thank you.
This is Lisa Floyd. I work in the West Side, and the City Council needs to stop the discussion about reimagining police, because all that does is pretend to do the work. City Council needs to defund the police, because only in defunding can there truly be equity across the board. The police have contributed to racism in Atlanta and in Georgia far too long. The police have not found answers for the child murders that occurred in Atlanta. You don't know where the reward money for those individuals who would have found the murder. We don't know where the reward money is. Atlanta's police department needs to be defunded because there's no morality in that police department. And so long as there's no morality, there is no centralizing the community. And if the police do not have the community at its center, then it will continuously shoot down Black people. It will shoot down people of color. And it will make it impossible for Atlanta to truly be the Mecca that Atlanta pretends to be. For us, a place of traveling and transportation, this is not a safe place.
and the police don't make it safe, even if they patrol the streets. Because in patrolling, all that they do is interact with their isms, their racism, their sexism, their xenophobia, their homophobia. That's all that the police do. It needs to be defunded. In order to have a better Atlanta, a better Georgia, the police need to be defunded. Reforming only means reallocating a little bit of money. All of that money needs to be reallocated because that is the only way to promote positive change. This is Lisa Floyd. I work at the West Side in a nonprofit organization as a programs coordinator.
Hi, my name is Sandra Smith. I live in District 4. I'm calling because I want to see real tangible changes in the city. As Atlanta's best change for progress, you, our city council, must decrease policy funding and allocate my tax dollars to community-centered initiatives like mental health care, human services, public education, public transportation, or really pretty much anything else that would make this city safer. Please don't increase the budget fund to police this year. I know you guys are about to make that decision today at 10 a.m. As someone who lives in the city, I'm asking you to please not add to the budget for the police this year. Thank you.
Hello, this is Gordon Draves, and I'm quite concerned. I have heard that the Office of Sustainability will have a budget cut in the coming budget, and I don't agree with that at all. Sustainability is very important, and it must be, some money provided for that effort. And for every dollar put in, I'm sure that many dollars will come back to the city of Atlanta. So please do not cut the Office of Sustainability, and keep it going as much as possible. Thank you very much.
My name is Alan Stedman. I live in the Highlands neighborhood, and I'm calling to voice my opinion to defund the Atlanta Police Department. We do not need to look into it or start researching it. We need to take decisive action right now. We need to stop funding the people who are murdering our own citizens, and we need to start funding projects that will actually help people. I mean, how is it that our hospitals, nurses, doctors don't have the proper equipment to save people's lives, but somehow our police force has an endless supply of bullets to murder our own citizens? The police are a complete failure, and we need to stop this nonsense. It's ridiculous. And I strongly urge you to defund the police and divert those funds towards much better causes. Please. Please. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jessica Moskowitz from Gwinnett County, Georgia. I'm calling to tell the mayor and city council that reimagining police is not enough and is unacceptable. We must defund the Atlanta Police Department and reallocate the resources. The city of Atlanta should immediately establish a plan to dismantle APD and build a new community-based, community-controlled police system. 2, defund and demolish the Atlanta City Detention Center to move Atlanta further from violent policing and closer to equity, freedom, and wellness. Close the jail by July 1st and financially commit to its demolition by September 1st. And finally, 3, justice for our people. Reopen investigations into all APD killings since 2017 and develop a community tribunal to assess the use of force and take steps to hold APD officers accountable. These are the demands of the Atlanta constituents. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my message.
Hi, my name is Kelly Shanahan, and I live in Shanty in Atlanta, and I'm calling to request the defunding of the police. I would like a portion of those funds to be reallocated to services that can better help the community, that will prevent needing so much policing, other services such as human services and sustainability and environmental projects, and particularly education and after-school programs. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Holly Mashonda. I am in Atlanta, Georgia. I live in Zone 1 of the Atlanta City Council.
And I was calling because I am just incensed at the thought that we are adding $12 million to the police budget, and we added $5 million last year, but we want to cut $1.2 million from the executive offices that position offices of equity, diversity, inclusion, to end human trafficking, and we're telling us that we don't want to add more money to this department. We don't want to add more money to immigrant affairs. We don't want to add more money to human services that helps our homeless population that we clearly have a problem with. We don't want to add money to maybe our school system or maybe, some food pantry or some things that would make policing obsolete in the first place. It is absolutely insane to me that my tax dollars are going to fund people who put tear gas on peaceful protesters and beat people and kill people when they don't need to. And I think we should definitely address the underlying conditions that lead to needing policing in this way and reimagine the way that we're policing now. So I propose that we don't give them a $12 million increase because they don't need it. They don't have McDonald's money. We're not doing it. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope that you take into account my message and actually do a change. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Hi, my name is Liz Jeanette. I live in Grant Park. I am calling to request that you defund the police. I live in Grant Park, and there have been peaceful protests here, and I have seen, I'm not sure exactly what to call it, but a lot of action from the police force to very peaceful protesters. And so I feel like helicopter, just the excessive display, is part of why I am requesting to defund the police. Thank you. Have a good day. My phone number is 828-553-9249.
Hi, my name is Melanie Hicks. I'm a resident of East Atlanta Village. For the last 3 years, previous to that, I lived in Reynoldstown and Brookhaven. I just wanted to call and leave a message today imploring you to defund the police in today's budget meeting and reallocate funds towards community-based services. We need change. We want change. We need our city council to listen to us. Thank you. Have a great day.
Hi, my name is Emily Brannon. I live in the Ponce Highlands area neighborhood, and I am calling to ask you to defund the police in Atlanta. I'm an educator for kids with special needs. I know that we just need to improve our budget, and the police need to be defunded. Their funds should go towards other programming that can better benefit our community and our kids and the people of Atlanta. Thank you. Bye.
Hello, my name is Catherine Williams. I am a resident of Ponce Highlands neighborhood, and I'm calling about the fiscal year 2021 budget. I feel strongly that our city needs to put less money into the police budget and more money into things like human services, sustainability, equity, diversity, and inclusion. And I'm calling because I want to ask you to defund the police budget and put more money into those things that are important for my fellow Atlantans. Thank you for the work that you're doing. Bye.
Hi, my name is Matt Rosenfeld, and I'm a Fulton County resident. I'm calling to say that reimagining the police is not enough, and I'm requesting that we defund the Atlanta Police Department and reallocate resources, defund and demolish the Atlanta City Detention Center, and hold APD accountable for the lives it's taken. I urge you to move from a community of persecution to a community of care by supporting social services we've neglected for too long that enrich lives and help our communities grow and heal. Our police system was built to perpetuate the enslavement of Black and brown people, and we need change now. Too many people of color have died at the hands of police officers. Please do the right thing and save lives. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Shirley Barr. I live in West Midtown, Toronto.